Good morning, Zio here, and I thought maybe we could take a moment and look at our old friends Bethesda and see how 76 is doing. You know, Fallout 76, that amazing game that has no issues whatsoever, totally not broken at all. Let's take a look at them for a minute. Oh my. Yeah, that could be a problem. But hey, with everything else going on with Fallout 76, why not have hackers and add that to the mix as well? I'm not sure why anybody would even be surprised at this. I mean, when you cobble your game together with your other game, or bits and pieces from your other games using the same engine and whatnot, to where, you know, people have already modded and hacked and broken into that game for years at this point, and you throw it all together and throw it into a multiplayer only setting, of course, people are going to find a way to hack it pretty easily, more than likely, especially since they've already done it on the other game. But, you know, what do I know? When it comes to game development, I guess sometimes it's just best to take all the assets you've already created on the other engine that you've created and just throw them all together and claim it's a completely new game with little to no work at all. But, alright, sure, why not? But, yeah. Hackers have apparently found ways to add NPCs, items, and other things to the game now. So not only have they got this issue where they have broken everything with a recent update when it comes to legendary effects and such, but now hackers have started running rampant, and it's actually not a new thing. They've been doing it for quite a while because duping weapons and items in Fallout 76 seems to be a thing that happens quite frequently. But yeah, so on December 14th, during Fallout 76 free weekend event, UnknownCheats.me forum user ErectBan released a series of cheat scripts they wrote for the game on PC, allowing players to spawn in weapons, armors, and other objects to the game. The release will more than likely be hotfixed instantly, they said. Use the free weekend accounts to spawn containers, items, create legendary equipment, and after you create your items, store them on your mule accounts. Do this at your own risk, which of course, you know, when it comes down to it, hacking the game on a live service, multiplayer only, everything is of course done at your own risk. But the stuff still keeps happening and still keeps getting out there apparently. But, yeah, they have actually brought in other things, like the Pridwin here, from the Brotherhood of Steel. It's just hanging out in the middle of nowhere. Fallout 4 assets is what they're bringing into the game. Bringing in weapons and armor that aren't actually in Fallout 76. Which, of course, I think is going to be the easiest thing to figure out what doesn't belong and taking that out. So when they do go around to removing said items, it's going to be a lot harder, though, to find a regular actual legendary that is found or something, and actually having the ability to figure out if they spawned it in through cheating or if they've legitimately found 5 of these items. But of course, on top of all that, they've spawned in NPCs, as well as just, you know, say airships and such that just sit there and don't really do anything but look pretty, and items and weapons and armor. They've actually gone ahead and, you know, put in NPCs to the game because why not? Brotherhood of Steel Soldiers, Queen Scorch pieces, human NPCs that they have created themselves, and their functioning is apparently incredibly high. They will wander around your camp while idle, and in combat they will relentlessly chase their opponents, taking cover and retreating when necessary. But of course there are limitations to these. They spawn without clothes, and some without weapons. The sound of their weapons fire are sometimes replaced with the sounds of turret gunfire, and they cannot leave your camp unless it's to hunt down an enemy. Which, yep, that's a thing. Nothing like coming up on somebody's encampment, attacking it or whatever, and being hunted down by a horde of NPCs that they spawned in themselves. Good job, Bethesda. So glad that you're keeping this game alive. But luckily, however, they have taken some steps to deal with this. We are planning to bring Fallout 76 offline for all platforms at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Tomorrow, or Eastern, yeah, that is ET, Eastern Standard Time, really? Alright, tomorrow, December 18th, in order to perform maintenance. Be sure to keep an eye on this thread. We will provide updates throughout maintenance to let you know as soon as possible as you can head on back in. Because, we're gonna fix it. Couldn't prevent it, but we're gonna fix it. Anyway, during today's downtime, we've removed items that could be only obtained by cheating through abuse or of an exploit. We also implemented additional measures to address this exploit. Additionally, the community has let us know loud and clear that the Sanitron wasn't being generous enough. Blah blah blah, yada yada yada. Anyway, so yeah, they went ahead and they got out all the stuff that came out of Fallout 4, I would assume. All the weapons, items, and things that weren't actually in Fallout 76, but is technically in Fallout 76 assets because, they pulled things straight out of Fallout 4 and threw it into Fallout 76 to the point that, people were able to find notes from the development of said game still in the code on what to do and things. Yeah. I guess that's what happens when you copy and paste your game together. When you do stuff like that, naturally there are going to be exploits and people are going to find ways to, mess with it. Come on, Bethesda. You're not making Fallout 76 feel any better with this stuff. It's been over a year at this point now, right? Anyway, however, because of all this, there is a vibrant community of people selling hacked items on eBay, of all places. Yeah. The first thing that, of course, pops into my head is Diablo 2. Back in the day where duping was an issue, even on closed BattleNet, where there were third-party sites that would sell you it would sell you, items and stuff attained in-game, through measures of how they've obtained it, and so on and so forth, that you could pay them, they'd deliver you the stuff, put it on your character, whatever else, and you may or may not lose everything you've ever worked on that character. It's up to you how you handle that. But that's really what it kind of feels like, except for this is now using eBay and stuff. But apparently back in January, when the first wave of Fallout 76 backlash was at its peak, this was back in January, vast swaths of the Fallout subreddit was busy complaining about in-game glitches, in particular a cheating method called duping. And then we explain what duping is, because nobody knows that that's pretty much just copying an item. Anyway, making multiple copies of an item. Over on eBay, some enterprising hustler capitalized on this mess by creating their own cottage industry using the various duplication methods. The eBay account started selling dozens of Fallout 76 most valuable items. Yep. And that's happened. Still happening, apparently. That's about all I got to say on that. Hacking is running rampant on Fallout 76. And, of course, when they have a free weekend, it gets 1,000 times worse. And we're up here towards the holidays. Of course, they've gone ahead and taken out other things. But, if they're going to actually get around to try and prevent people from spawning in certain things or what is still left to be seen, because again, we're up to the holidays. It may not get fixed until next year at this rate. Then again, their fix could break something else. You've got people using the assets that were created when everybody was losing things to their scrap box, because Fallout First was a broken mess when it launched, and that was a paid subscription service. Funny how that works. To give players who lost their scrap, and people are now able to spawn this item into game, because guess what? It's now an asset in the game where they have access to it, and they essentially have infinite scrap without ever having to work for it. Among, weapons and other things. And people are also creating their own legendaries now as well by, setting up more than the standard 3 or so legendary effects that can possibly be on something and stacking it with a lot more. And I'm assuming that is going to be one of the things that they found right here and they were getting out, was legendaries that had more than the possible 3 effects that it could have on it, or effects that there's no way that particular piece of armor or item could actually have that effect, as well as assets that are in Fallout 4 but not in Fallout 76. But I guess we'll see. We'll keep an eye on this. We'll see what it does over the holidays. Let me know what you think about all this down in the comments below, and I will talk to you later. See ya. Hey, thanks for watching. Don't forget to leave a comment, smash that like button, and always subscribe for more. And of course, there are other videos floating around somewhere on the screen, so click one of those and see if you can find something that suits your fancy. Till then, I'll see you later. Bye.